Hello and welcome to our final segment here for Coach's Corner West from Wynford High School. We are seated with the boys bowling team, but first I'd like to remind you that this program is brought to you in part by Adam Weisner and Associates at Advanced Fiber Technology, Coach Tim Plumley at Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Matt Studer, Spitzer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Kia in Mansfield, Rob Less at the Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion, Matt Ramsey, John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein and Associates at Bucyrus Blades, and Roger Brown at Winks Lock and Save. So seated across from me is head coach for Wynford Boys Bowling, Dave Lilly. Thanks for coming out tonight, Coach.
Thanks for having us.
And something kind of interesting that I kind of wanted to touch on going into this is, bowling is like one of those sports where, it's not featured on the N10 website. There's not a lot of things on the website, but you guys have a great Facebook page that has everything. It's basically like everything that I would ever want to find is on that Facebook page. So kind of touching on that.
Yes, Kobe's mom Amanda does a great job with our Facebook page and taking care of things like that. Always posting stuff, writing stuff down, letting them know practice, all the scores to the games or the bowling matches that we have. She does a great job with that.
Absolutely, it was awesome. So you guys' most recent tournament at Mount Vernon Nazarene University on Saturday, 3 members on the all-tournament team. Brian Schiffer, you had a high game of 206, high series of 693. Kobe, you had a 674 series, and Sebastian, you had a 669 series. So talk to me a little bit about that tournament and what you guys saw.
It was a college-based format, so the shot was really tough. Their scores are on 4 games, which shows that the shots were very tough, and then 5 Baker games. So we was there all day. We was pretty tired, and then we did that, and then there was a 5-game step ladder, 5-team step ladder, and it was a best of 3 Baker's games. And we was leading by a whole lot when it was all done and said, but we fell a little short in the Baker games and ended up second there. So
that's, nothing to hang your hat about.
No,
either,
because we brought a lot of hardware home. The boys all got trophies and medals, and yes.
And 60% of the all-tournament team were Wynford bowlers, and as a team, you guys are 9-1 overall as a varsity team. And then something I saw your guys' like number 1 JV boys are undefeated.
Yes. So we got 18 boys on the team. So we had the JV tournament here in town the other day, and the JV boys bowled really well in that.
Good.
So.
And so I'm going to assume your guys' first loss was a loss last Wednesday to Liberty Benton.
Yes.
And I don't think you can get much closer than that. 2,478 pins to 2,474 pins.
Yes.
So just one roll, and I think one different roll, and you guys take that one. So what was it like kind of having like that little bit of a stumble, and what are you guys going to try and do going forward?
Well, both teams bowled very well. So, and we had a chance. Tyler had a chance to throw a strike and tie it at the end of the game, So I told him we was proud of the way they bowled.
Yeah.
So we're back at it tomorrow against Crawford. And like I said, they bowled well down there at that tournament on a tough shot. So we get back at home tomorrow and get started at it again. We win out, we still win the league.
Absolutely, yeah. And kind of look at this, all seniors sitting here at the table with us. So what's it been like to have such like an experienced team for varsity this season?
These guys have got a lot of years under them. I took them. Barb had the COVID year, and I took them to sectionals that year before I was actually the coach, and they bowled really well that year. So I was looking forward to taking them this year because I knew all of them. Mm-hmm. They was all coming back and good bowlers.
Absolutely. Before we talk to the players, I'd like to remind you that this program is brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth, the Plymouth Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Galleon, Henry Newton at Wendy's Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus, and Tabitha Smith and Associates at Waycraft Industries, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut, Bucyrus and Galleon, pizza provider for Coach's Corner West, and the Burkhardt family at Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on Manette, New Winchester Road. So up first, we're going to talk to Sebastian. Sebastian, as a senior and kind of being able to see this Wynford team grow from a club sport to now it's a varsity program, what has it been like to kind of go through that throughout high school?
It was pretty interesting going to a freshman, then skipping sophomore year, then coming back junior and senior. It was a good experience.
And what would you say your favorite alley or lane is to bowl at? One that you've maybe just done at a tournament or suburban lanes here in town?
Or maybe Sunday you shot a 289 game.
Probably Blue Fusion.
Blue Fusion over in Marion, gotcha. So is being a senior, like, obviously you guys have how many bowlers do you say you have?
18.
18 bowlers, are you guys the only 4 seniors?
No,
one
one
more.
senior,
We got
but
one more.
I invited him, but he didn't come. Austin
Dornbeer.
Dornbeer.
That's all right. You guys are 5 out of 18, so you kind of have an important leadership role. So what's something you try to do in practice and just kind of communicating with the other guys to try and be better going forward?
Just trying to hit our spares and just keep good as a team positives, all we can do.
Well, thank you and good luck going forward. Up next, we're going to talk to Brian Schiffer. Brian, a guy that I know pretty well. So I saw that at that tournament, like I mentioned, you had the highest game, 206. Is that the highest game of the tournament or just your personal high?
That was the highest game of the tournament.
So, yeah, and then you had the high series of 693. So certainly a very accomplished bowler. What's kind of some prescriptions you've taken in your off seasons to try and grow from a freshman bowler to now as a senior with, bowling in college tournaments and being the best bowler there?
Just going out and practicing as much as I can whenever I get the time to.
And, bowling's one of those sports that, I feel like it's certainly one of the easiest to practice. You just go up through the lanes and you bowl a couple games. So have you found it pretty easy to take some time out of your days to attack the lanes and try and get better?
Yeah, I found it pretty easy. And, sometimes you have your days. Some days are good, some days are bad.
Yeah, like with anything. So, well, thank you and good luck going forward. Next up, we have Kobe Knopfsinger. Kobe, next in line in that Mount Vernon tournament with a 674 series. What are some things you've done to try and get better?
Spares, definitely. Spares make or break you in games. Go out and just keep focused mentally. I mean, bowling's a mental sport. Just make sure you can get every shot you can.
And you guys are part of the Northern Ohio Bowling League, correct?
Yes.
So I'm not entirely sure all the schools that participate in that, but do you have any schools, because I know your guys' tournament's coming up sometime in February, correct? What are some schools that you can maybe have your eye on that you can try and serve to be NOBL champs?
Probably us and Liberty Benton and Bucyrus. Those are the top 3 right now.
And Bucyrus is a pretty good bowling program
Yes,
as well.
they do. They got a lot of boys.
Seth Price, I believe, is on his team. I know he bowled a 300, so you got 2 very good bowling squads going at it. So good luck and hope to see what you can do going forward. And lastly, we have Tyler Binder, another senior on this team, the senior laden squad. Tyler, what's your favorite alley to bowl at?
My favorite alley is definitely Suburban. It's our home alley. We bowl there all the time, so go down there and shoot some good games. It's always great to bowl there.
And obviously you bowl a lot, so you can kind of get a feel for things. Can you definitely tell, I know there's certain oils you can put on lanes and things like that. Can you tell a change in performance when you go from suburban lanes to, say, another bowling alley?
Oh, yes, 100%. Other alleys have synthetic lanes, and we have wooden, which wooden breaks down really fast. So, you have to move consistently. Synthetic lanes keep oil on it a lot longer, so it's easier to play on lanes like that.
So you think in Bucyrus you can kind of feel the groove, how you want to bowl earlier on than you do at other places?
Yes.
Interesting. And, kind of touched on it being your home lane. You don't really think about having, home field advantage, I guess, or home lane advantage at a bowling alley, but, it all sounds like you guys really enjoy bowling at Bucyrus. So is there any place you hate bowling?
I don't like bowling at Cooper's Bowl.
Where's that at?
Marion.
I absolutely despise it, mainly because it has a lot of oil on the lanes, and I have thrown a few gutter balls down there when we bowled a match there.
There's nothing to hang your hat about. But thank you and good luck going forward. Before we talk to head coach Dave Lilly one last time, I'd like to remind you that this is brought to you in part by Blythe Freely and Todd McDougall at Freely and Company Insurance in New Washington, Ted Coder at the Monarch Body Shop in New Washington, The Ohio State University at Marion, a Big Ten education close to home, Mike Kleinheit at Ag Credit Residential Lending Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion, Dr. Thomas M. Britton at the Clubview Vision Center in Bucyrus, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, and Lou Ann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing, and Signs in Marion. So, Coach Lilly, you guys have any upcoming tournaments you'd like to talk about or sponsor?
We got the county tournament coming up. I just was out at the bowling alley drawing for lanes for that. It'll be bowled over at Victory Lane in Galleon. I think that's the 11th. I'd have to look. But no, we're just focusing on right now Crawford on Tuesday and trying to keep undefeated the rest of the way out so we can win the league.
And I talked to your players and got their insight on the NOBL, but who's kind of like a pebble in your shoe that you see in the NOBL?
Well, Liberty Benton, since they beat us by 4 pins, that's the one we want to go back and get. So we missed a lot of spares that day that you think back, just one of those spares, we could have won that match. So we'd like to at the end of the year at the league tournament, that's the one we want to get over.
You know, and you mentioned a little bit about Colonel Crawford and not looking too far ahead, but you know, you have some great bowlers on this team. Have you put any thought to like any district or state hopefuls?
Yes, I'm looking to get out of sectionals this year and making it to districts, and we very possibly we can do that. We'll be bowling down at Fall Story Lanes for the sectionals.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to these four putting up some big scores down there, getting us into districts.
You know, and touching on Colonel Crawford, do you have anything to take away from them and how they're going to try and come at you tomorrow?
Well, they're a young team. This is their first year, I think, in the league, maybe second. So they'll come out and give us a good match. But if we bowl our game and pick up our spares, that's the main thing. I keep trying to tell the boys that spares is the main thing in bowling.
Well, I thank you for coming out, and good luck tomorrow, and good luck going forward this season.
Thanks for having us.
This has been Coach's Corner West from Wynford High School. I'd like to thank Dan Messerschmidt and Kim Jenny and the entire North Central Ohio Media Group for their continued support in this opportunity. I'd like to thank John Kreider, my production engineer and on-site assistant, Harper Boggs. I'd like to thank my parents, Chris and Sarah, to my brother Corey, to all my friends, and of course to all of you for listening to me tonight. This is Cameron Moon signing off saying be safe and have a good night, everybody.